Harbaugh now heads to the Los Angeles Chargers.
He wins everywhere. He wins, period.
Justin Herbert, he's a crown jewel.
Well, you guys better enjoy this.
Quick snap, Herbert to throw. Has a man, touchdown!
The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin.
Herbert on the move and throws and touchdown.
I was just trying to show off.
We're going to be known as world champions. And we're going to do it or die trying. Don't let the powder blues fool you.
Who's got it better than that?
Well, hey there, hi there, ho there, folks. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wool Dog, sitting with my buddy, Kev Huggen-Duggan.
Happy post-Halloween. How are you guys feeling? I feel sick.
I'm all right. Let's check in on Kyle the Coach Duggan. How you feeling?
Also not well. Yeah, the dad tax was in full effect last night with that candy they got home last night.
Yeah, I don't think there's one Twix or peanut butter cup left in my kids' bags.
Wow.
And I had 4 kids, so I had 4 bags. I was up till about 12:30 last night. I was like, wow, I have so much energy. This is great. All this sugar rush. And there it is.
Yeah.
Then now you're paying
Is that your
for
go-to? Is that your favorite candy?
That's what I was feeling last night. With Halloween candy, I like to dabble. I like to get a little bit of that, and then I'll go like a Twizzler. You got to mix the
a little charcuterie board.
Yeah, I got to mix it up. I can't just be all peanut butter because then I'm like, blah. If I throw like a Twizzler in there, I'm like, oh yeah, then more peanut butter. It's a vicious cycle.
It's like uppers and downers. You're like, I need to even myself out,
exactly
man.
what it is.
I'm riding too hard on the peanut butter. I'm chasing the Twizzler dragon.
I love, and this is not a popular. This is not a popular opinion, but I love the vanilla Tootsie Rolls. Those are one of my favorite candies.
Dude, it's not a popular opinion, but I'm with you. That's
it's good.
I think that's a nice change of pace.
I think it's like the up or downer thing. It's like so uncommon that it
cleans the palate.
So nice.
It makes you ready for the next one.
Can I tell you what's the best combo of all time? It's a Tootsie Roll Pop, because you get the outside and the inside at the same time. Throw one of those in. There's nothing quite like a good Tootsie Roll.
But that's like a good like 45-minute investment.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for.
Got time.
I'm committed. I'm a Charger fan. I'm committed, dude.
Instant gratification.
That's so funny. All right. Well, you know who else had a good Halloween? It looks like Cameron Dicker, who dressed up like his favorite coach in the world, Coach Harbaugh.
That's so amazing.
He killed it. He killed it. And he did Edna for like the boo at the bolt, too.
Yeah. The guy's a blast.
I hope he was out there. I hope he was kicking field goals looking like that too. Just like blowing a whistle and then kicking.
He did have cleats on.
Yeah, he was ready to practice. Yeah.
He said, I thought it'd be funny. Dicker said, I thought he was going to take it well, and he did. He loved it. It's cool to have somebody like that around and someone you can just have fun with, but at the same time work and get stuff done.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't had that before.
Yeah. Like weird. Somebody relatable that I can have funny ha-has with.
Hey, a nice goofy head coach that knows how to have fun, but still, hey, man, we're here to win. We're here to be competitive. Competitors welcome.
Yeah.
Do you think he was given like Harbaughisms on the side?
I hope so. I hope he went full in character and like method acted it for all day long. Got in the cold tub with all of his clothes on, like all of this stuff. I hope he did it all.
I hope he did too. There was another, they showed a bunch of pictures of like all the players with their kids and stuff like that. And I don't know whose kid this is, but Justin Herbert was kneeling down and talking to some kid that was dressed up full Herbert, like jersey, 10 on the helmet, pants, had the whole shebang. And the smile on Justin Herbert's face is so genuine. It is so like just full of life, man. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's just the coolest I've ever seen Justin Herbert, just so happy just to be around. Like probably, honestly, it's like on par with like after he makes a 38-yard run or something like that. And the smile on his face is comparative to that. Like,
he wants to do less murdering with this smile, more like, I want to be your best friend.
Yeah.
This is less Joker smile, more like happiness smile.
Let's see some little tidbits floating around on Twitter right now. Some tasty little nuggets and factoids, if you will. Apparently, the fewest games allowing more than 20 points this season. Chargers are at the top with 0. And right behind them are Chiefs, Steelers, Bears, Broncos, Lions.
0.
0 for us.
0. A big old goose egg.
Which is so funny to me. We'll get to it. These people with their score predictions. we haven't let it happen yet. Why are you projecting the team will have more than 20 points? I don't get the reasoning. You're not following trends.
They're like, it's
Jameis Winston
one of
is
these
a
times.
unicorn.
Jameis Winston has been a backup quarterback for 3 years. What is everyone so excited about? He had one good game because they didn't game plan for him, and he went out of his mind. He's going to throw 3 interceptions this game.
The Ravens also didn't have any of their defensive backs. Like everyone's hurt in that whole defense, and who hasn't been holding teams to under 20 points every single game.
No, they're like one of the worst.
They lost to the Raiders, for
in the
goodness sake.
Yeah, exactly.
For goodness sake. Well, that is
Who does that?
Who does that? It's a fun thing to see.
Cool
and PFF also showing that the Chargers offensive tackle duo in week 8 had 0 pressures allowed. This is my surprise face.
Tips of my spear.
Not tip of the spear.
They're just killing it there. And also, Chargers have also made a few moves. They've signed Sam Mustipher to the active roster. I think
buddy.
They've also made
Backup
some other
center.
signings as well. I think, was it Byron Murphy they've signed to the practice squad. He was a linebacker. He was an undrafted guy, if I'm not mistaken, who led in sacks and stuff like that in his college career. So interesting to see what he does. And the more you know, folks. A couple quotes going around. Daniel Popper tweeting out, Greg Roman said Justin Herbert's injuries, a foot issue in camp, and then the high ankle sprain were about the worst case scenario for year 1 of a new offensive system. We're starting to see where we can go and what we can be because of simply time on task.
Do you think it's time on task, or do you think it's he can actually move around and play action and kind of play this offense the way it was designed?
I'm not familiar with that term, time on task. What does
Just
that
the
mean?
amount of time they spent
Just
practicing.
the amount of time doing it. Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess if you're injured, you can't really do it.
No, but
time
do you
on
think
task?
it's as much time on task, or do you think it's more of he can actually do the stuff that was planned?
It's like what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah,
It is a little bit because I think they both definitely play a part.
Yeah.
And there's no way to know which one had more of an impact. But Justin, there's something you could see something different in him. When he makes those runs and he gets fired up, or he throws that touchdown pass and he's losing his mind at the end of the game, that kind of stuff comes out of a confidence that from not being hurt. But then again, it could be a confidence in the system and we got this type of attitude. So I think both things. It's great to have both. You have a healthy quarterback and a guy that's starting to get the system and things are starting to click. I mean, it's more than just Justin too. Greg Roman's been an offensive coordinator for a long time, but you still have to get into a rhythm as a play caller with your new team too. Who's best at what routes and how do I get them into the right spots and what matchup does this guy really excel in? And hey, on third down, do we have the beef to go out and get those 3 hard yards, or do I need to put the ball in Justin's hand? All that stuff. It's also for Greg Roman as much as it is for Justin Herbert getting used to.
Sure.
So I think everything is just starting to fire on all cylinders, which is what you want to see. And hopefully we can take it into a really good Browns defense that we're going to face this week.
Let's go. Eric Smith also tweeting out, DJ Chark and Quentin Johnston are hopeful the Chargers can debut a full-strength wide receiver group on Sunday in Cleveland. I'm not sure who this quote is. It says, I feel like that's a very real possibility.
It was either QJ or Chark. I can't remember, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is going to be that because everyone's talking. You go see all the pregame one I watched. What was it, Phil Simms, and just heaping so much praise on Cleveland and how many weapons they have, and the only reason we can't win is because we don't have enough weapons. And all he said is the only wide receiver they have is Lad McConkey. Mm-hmm. It's that's the only receiver you're seeing on the scorecard. So you're just not watching our games, which is okay. But get ready because I feel like our wide receivers are going to show up. Your job is to talk about these games like you know what you're talking about. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Offense intended.
Well, it sounds like somebody that's just looking at the box score, just looking at the yardage and going well, clearly they have no receivers.
Yeah, they got no receivers.
But,
or you look at everyone being spread around like crazy, and then we'll get DJ Chark back, Quentin Johnston back. It's gonna be an interesting week.
Yeah. And then Quentin Johnston on returning saying, I wanted to come back last week, but I felt like I was going to hurt the team more than help it. So I took the extra week off, but we won. So that's always good. And I was there in full support. I did see him.
What
there
a
on the
teammate.
sideline. What a guy. And I mean, that's such a tough decision too. I can only imagine where it's like, man, I want to be out there. I probably could go out there, but man, what if I re-aggravate the injury? If I just have one more week, thinking of the long term. Not every player thinks of that because they just like, I want to go out there now. I want to help them now. And it takes a bit of humbleness to put the team before yourself in that sense. All right. Well, looking at this upcoming game against the Cleveland Browns, the NFL Films putting out their scorecards, and boy, I guess Adam Rank just didn't see that tweet from the Chargers last week where he
or it made him double down. Yeah, probably made him double down.
He is one of 3 outliers that think the Browns are going to win by 1 point. All of these guys think the Browns are going to win by 1 point.
Yeah, but these are. There was a stat earlier. They haven't scored over. No one scored 20 points on us yet.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Like, what are you looking at?
Less.
Yeah, it feels like a spite one. Like they're finally going to get their first 20 plus point game scored on them. This feels like little spitey, shitty predictions.
Spidey man.
Man.
Does whatever a Spidey man can.
Yeah, and it's like the Browns were sellers a week ago. They were like, Amari Cooper gone. Like Greg Newsome was on the trade block. Like we're selling everyone because we suck. And now all of a sudden they're gonna take care of us.
Turn it around.
1 week they're gonna beat us. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
We'll see y'all. We'll see y'all Monday.
Looking at the injury report, this is a long list, but I think we see a lot more fulls and limiteds than did not practice. So Joey Bosa getting his limited practice in. We saw him working off to the side. We've already talked about DJ Chark getting full. I mean, he's got to be playing
finally
this game, right?
Full participant. Yeah, he's
finally. Yeah.
Good to see Darius Davis on that hamstring injury getting limited practice in as well. Will Dissly trending in the right direction. J.K. Dobbins just taking a rest day. Morgan Fox trending in the right direction, getting a full practice. Christian Fulton, though, did not practice with his hamstring injury, so something to keep an eye on. But Hayden Hurst, Quentin Johnston, Khalil Mack, Ladd McConkey, all those guys getting full practices in. Denzel Perryman, though, still not practicing with the toe injury. Brendan Rice with the shoulder injury went on limited Wednesday and then did not practice on Thursday. So I don't know what happened with that shoulder. Didn't play a snap in the Saints game. I figured he injured himself playing like special teams or something in the Saints, but he didn't have a single snap count according to Popper. So I don't know where that shoulder injury happened. Stone Smart dealing with an ankle injury, did not practice, and then Jasir Taylor, that fibula is going to haunt him this whole season.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Another limited practice in. So everybody's trending in the right direction. That's all good stuff to see, especially in the wide receiver department. DJ Chark and Quentin Johnston, man, throwing those guys out there with Ladd McConkey, with Palmer, with Simi. I mean, that's going to be. We're gonna need him, I think, against the Cleveland Browns. I think if we want to go on that stretch that we were talking about, that little 3-game winning stretch, we can make it happen. And getting those wide receivers is going to be a big part of it.
When I saw a stat too, like if we win this game, our playoff chances winning this week go from 30 to 70 just by winning this game.
You need
so we just got to win it.
Got to make it happen.
I'm also just really excited about seeing all of our receivers that that's been the talk of the Charger world is we have to trade for someone. We have to go get something. And I'm in that boat. I think it would make our team better to go and get someone here at the trade deadline. But I'm also just really excited to see what our actual wide receiver core looks like when you have everybody out there. Maybe either to bring some ease if we don't make a move at the trade deadline. And also just excitement about DJ Chark makes a big play. It's gonna be awesome. I'm sure that's part of Kevin's bold prediction here at the end.
You can tell. You can see the gleam in his eye. Well, folks, I'm bold predicting that you're gonna go check out our sponsor this week, Underdog Fantasy. Is the best place to cash in on all your takes this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are ice cold? Make your entries in just a few taps and turn your sports opinions into real money. With Red Zone Rush, a game you won't find anywhere else. Just pick whether or not a player will score a touchdown by swiping right for yes, left for no. Simple as that. Plus, your entry will be automatically boosted and you'll get a 51% profit boost when you play. You could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats like passing yards, interceptions, touchdowns, and much more. Underdog is the best place to play champions. So sign up and deposit using promo code CCHAT to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Now, this Red Zone Rush, this is a new thing, Kyle. I think this might be our ticket to finally making some money.
Please, something.
Keep it simple, dude. Just like close your eyes and swipe. Who knows?
We need something to help us.
We need a spark.
This Red Zone Rush, I'm excited actually to see how that works. That could be a lot of fun.
But do we have our decisions yet on what we're doing this weekend?
We're gonna do it right now. Boise State plays San Diego State tonight. Friday night game. Our hometown team versus Adam's adopted town team.
Yeah,
we're gonna.
I'll take that.
I'm gonna give you. I'm not gonna even tell you who the player is or what the scenario is. I'm just gonna say higher or lower. You tell me what you think. Okay. So number one, give me a higher or lower. I'm not gonna tell you anything. You just tell me this is how we're gonna.
I'm feeling higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you take me higher?
All right. Second one, higher or lower?
Lower.
Yeah, feels lower.
Okay. And then the third one, higher or lower?
On three. Ready, Adam? 1, 2, 3. Higher.
Lower.
God, now the tiebreaker goes to Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm not good at this, boys. This is the
you
problem.
You just got to be the tiebreaker.
Okay.
Who felt more powerful in there?
Flip a coin.
Okay. All right. We're going the quarterback for Boise, Maddox Madsen, higher than 211 passing yards.
Oh.
We're going Danny O'Neal, quarterback for San Diego State, lower than 177 passing yards.
Oh,
okay.
Ashton
That could be okay.
No, that's okay. He's not. He's a freshman. He hasn't really done much.
Yeah.
And then Ashton Jeanty, lower than 182 rushing yards.
I think that could be okay.
That's what we're running. That's what we're running.
Let's not overthink it. We always overthink it.
No,
we always
it's done.
So let's
it's
do
done.
this.
It's already been locked in. That's what we're running with. Yeah.
Put the seal on.
There you go, folks. Yep. Download the app today and use code CCHAT to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Must be 18 or over 19 in Alabama and Nebraska, over 19 in Colorado for some games, over 21 in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. And folks, when you're done picking higher or lower, you can pick your way over to our Patreon, patreon.com/ChargerChat. We've got another video. It's Friday, so that means something's going to be coming out today. And then tomorrow we're going to be hanging out with some special tens and some fantasy football folk. It's going to be a blast. Check it out, patreon.com/ChargerChat. But if you don't want to go over there, it's totally fine. You can go on over to our regular website, chargerchat.com. Check out all the cool stuff we got over there. T-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. You can chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers in the members section and ask questions and ask Bowl fam. So go check out chargerchat.com. All right, gang, it's time to go on to the next segment. You know him. You love him. He was just there for the dub. It's the Greg Experience.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Come on in, man. Kick your feet up.
Oh.
Greg Experience.
Hello there.
Make yourself at home. Got some stuff to talk about, right? Moving on.
Man, victory sure does taste sweet, doesn't it? But even better, and more so, when it comes against your hometown team, and you're also there with family and friends that are fans of said team. You know, my wife and her buddies were really giving it to me there for about a quarter and a half, and they had their fun, but we all know who had the last laugh, right? And I enjoyed it quite thoroughly. But enough of petty me. You guys know what it is, CC Gang. The biggest of salutes, and to the rest of the Bowl fam, what's going on? She got Craig back in Texas from LA, and welcome to this victory edition of the TCE. Let's do it. Oh man, that was a really emotional game for a couple of reasons. You guys know that I definitely did not want to lose to the Saints because I didn't want to have to deal with the ramifications of that for at least a full week. And I mean, until the next time that we play them, definitely didn't want them to have bragging rights. So Chargers did me right there. I appreciate it. But also, it was really glorious seeing the offense really kick things into high gear, specifically in the passing game. You saw a bunch from Herbert, which was the most exciting part for me. Had a really elite game, and when you consider the fact, a couple things, that the Saints' strength of their defense is their secondary, and Jay Herbo pretty much torched them. And the running game wasn't great, but it was effective enough, and you saw him utilize his legs and contribute to it as well. He split two defenders in what looked like Moses parting the Red Sea, and he was walking away from guys. That's a 6'6", 240-pound plus dude who was moving. I mean, those legs were churning, and he was creating separation. And he finished it off with some nice little "I'm not afraid of you" contact to a more, of course, diminutive player in Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. But truth be told, you saw him be a lot more demonstrative in the way that he was on the field in relation to the players. His teammates and the Saints players also. He had a little trash talking going on in there, and it was nice to see because it almost feels like he's becoming more comfortable being who he is and letting that out as a leader now that he's under Jim Harbaugh. And I believe that Harbaugh has a lot to do with that. He's making him feel like he's the player that everyone believes him to be, and he's taking a hold of it. He's definitely not at all afraid to show a little bit of emotion, and you saw it pretty much all game long in a couple of different ways. The offensive line, for the most part, had a decent day. Well, specifically your tackles, who didn't give up a single pressure, but that's not really surprising at all, is it? The interior of the offensive line, still an issue. And I want to give Bradley Bozeman props because, I mean, it wasn't all bad. You saw his retaliation against a very dirty play on his quarterback, which the NFL seems to not think so because there have been no fines levied at this point. But come on, man. How badly do you have to gator roll a quarterback to get a call? Now, had that been another AFC quarterback who shall remain nameless, the dude probably would have been tarred and feathered by now. So let's just stick to the positive stuff, though. So Bradley, again, I appreciate you defending our quarterback because he went to town on homeboy, and if it wasn't for Herbert pulling him off, who knows how far that would have gone. But let's do a little bit better about protecting him during live plays. Transfer some of that energy over to like post snap, shall we? Cool. Zion and Pip, still touchy, to say the least. But overall, in general, the Chargers did what they had to do, specifically in that second half, to get the job done. And the defense, I mean, what else can you say? They didn't allow a touchdown, even towards the end of the game. You could see how important it was to them, and they held the Saints out of the end zone. And they went over to Jake Haener from, what's his face? Why am I forgetting his name? Spencer Rattler. Towards the end of the game in the second half, and Haener had a little bit more success moving the ball, but still in all, no touchdowns to speak of. And you can't ask for very much more than that from your defense. Going back, special teams deserve some props. I'm not sure what got into JK, but he was punting the hell out of the ball. Normally it's height with him, but on Sunday, he was getting all sorts of distance on that thing. I think he averaged over 50 yards, but he was really booming it. And he gets a lot of criticism for shanking the ball from time to time and also just not getting it deep enough. And again, height is typically his thing, but he definitely handled business on Sunday. And now I want to go back to the offense because how can I not talk about Ladd McConkey, who had his career day, basically his coming out party. 6 targets, 6 receptions, 111 yards, and 2 TDs. And that relationship between he and Jay Herbo is blossoming, and it's a beautiful thing to see, especially when there's so many questions in the wide receiver room, and Justin seems to be kind of planting his flag on McConkey Mountain, and they're just making it happen. I still would like to see the Chargers get more of a primary number 1 target, specifically at tight end, and it'll help Ladd out even that much more. I think he'll basically be unguardable if you can get someone that defenses have to focus on, and he becomes like the number 2 option. He can get more one-on-one opportunities. Teams will have less opportunity to bracket him or double cover him. So we'll see what happens on this upcoming trade deadline. But overall, just a really solid game. It was nice to walk away from it without heart palpitations, because that's typically a Chargers thing, but they definitely put their foot on the necks of the Saints in the second half, and we got out of there happy, healthy for the most part, and raring to go for the next week, where they will play the Cleveland Browns. And that matchup is now just a little bit more interesting. Everyone knows, I didn't make it a secret, that I'm really hoping that they can get their hands on David Njoku. Unfortunately, the Browns found a way to beat the Ravens last week with Jameis Winston at quarterback, and it seems like if they can get on a little bit of a run, they're probably going to be less likely to move off of some guys. But again, you're definitely going to have to wait until after this week, so I hope the Chargers for sure put the smackdown on the Browns so that they're more than likely sellers. But even after this game, I believe they have at some point, I don't know if the bye is the week after us or 2 weeks, but they also play the Saints in the upcoming weeks. They have a division matchup against the Steelers, and you know how divisional games go, it's coin toss. And then they play the Broncos. So there are some very winnable games over the next 3, and they get a break in between at some point with their bye. So if they can beat the Chargers, things look a little differently for them. And if Jameis can establish himself as a viable QB option for them, it turns things around a bit. It makes you wonder if maybe or not they become less likely to be sellers before the trade deadline. But I think it all is contingent upon this matchup against the Chargers. So we definitely have to do our thing, bring it home, and then maybe David Njoku could potentially be a Charger in the days following, but we shall see. The matchup doesn't really scare me. I think it'll be closer than some people think. You have to travel to Cleveland. That's always interesting. It's not going to be frigid, so that's good news. But also, they're dealing with some injuries as well. And, the Chargers look to get some guys back, potentially DJ Chark. I think QJ is going to be available. If I'm not mistaken, they've been practicing. Joey kind of left with a little bit of a limp last game, but he was practicing this week also, so we'll see how that goes. But there's potential for the Chargers to be as healthy going into this game as they've been since week 1, 2, somewhere's about that on point. So looking forward to it nonetheless. But overall, in general, there's an opportunity for the Chargers here to get on a little bit of a run themselves. And if they can add a piece or two, specifically on the offensive side of the ball, they may need to think about corner, even though the young Bucks are playing really well. Cam Hart and Tarheeb still, Christian Fulton still suffering through a hamstring injury. The issue here is that if one of your young guys goes down, you're going to have to do your best to replace them. And there's only so many next guys up you can do. I want to say that Dean Leonard may be on his way back here in a little bit, in a couple weeks. So you've got reinforcements on the way, but you just can't chance it. And the Chargers are kind of hovering around the 500 mark, and they need to create some separation or gain some traction on the Chiefs in the division. It's really weird watching the Broncos be 5-3 right now. They don't seem very good, or like they should be. They've run into some easier teams to beat, and they've taken care of business. So a lot of that has to do with the current record, where the Chargers should be, on a level playing field there where record is concerned. But they did give away one in Arizona. But you only have what's left in front of you, so you got to take care of business. Overall, I'm super encouraged because you saw this team be much more explosive again on the offensive side of the ball. Greg Roman allowed Herbert to open it up on plays down the field. You saw Josh Palmer get involved in addition to Ladd. Big catches, even Jalen Reagor. I mean, Herbert was just cutting it loose and guys were making plays. And you just love to see it. But again, Greg Roman kind of opening up the playbook on 2nd and long, which probably caught the defense off guard a little bit. On 2nd and long plays, defenses are typically looking for the O to maybe get into like a third manageable situations, but not really looking to take the top off. And the Chargers were definitely testing them there and came through with flying colors more often than not. So pretty much that's going to be it from me this week. Again, I want to say thank you and salute to all the people that I met out there. A couple of folks at the game, even a couple people in the airport. I had a connecting flight that was in St. Louis, and there was a fan there that ran into me and said, "What's up?" That was a fan of the pod also. So shout outs to you and a couple of other folks that I ran to, even in the Austin airport. It's so weird. You never know how many people watch this show until you get out and about and you see how many viewers actually support. and are, again, fans of the content. So everyone out there that I did run into, much appreciated. The guys at the Charger Chat appreciate you as well for your viewership, and stay tuned. More fun to come. So also my boys, again, thank you for facilitating the game for me, being kind enough to issue those tickets my way. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Seats are awesome, and SoFi is always fun. So I think right now I am 2-1 in my Charger games at SoFi. So, just got to keep this trend going. Might have to get to an extra one every year, but I go to at least one a year, try to make it 2. Let's see what we can make happen there. But until next time, you know who I be, Mr. Bolt Gang of Do Not Bang, aka TOP_FLYT3 over on Twitter. And you can also catch me as a co-host on the Lightning Round podcast. So until the next one, appreciate you guys. And K, love you, bye.
Well, there you go, folks. Another awesome Craig experience. Craig, I'm so glad you got to rub it in all your family's face. The Chargers beat the Saints. Yeah. That is my favorite thing in the world.
And I'm glad you're able to go to the game for us and use our seats, dude. I had a few people message me as like, somebody sent me a picture like, you guys aren't in your seats. Is this Craig? I was like, yeah, that's Craig.
Is this the Craig?
Is this the Craig? That is the Craig. Go talk to him. He's awesome.
Yes. Glad you had a blast there, buddy. And, can't wait to get you on the next game, and I can't wait to go to a game with you. I can't. It eats me up inside. Yeah, I'm sure. Fun. I'm sure it's great. Thanks. All right, well, folks, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Charger Chat. But before we go, we've got to make some bold predictions for this upcoming game against the Cleveland Browns. Who is going first?
I'll go first.
Kevin.
Okay.
All right, so the Chargers are definitely winning. I think our offense catches a little fire this week. I think we're going to win 24-13, and then we're going to get 2 interceptions and 1 fumble recovery on defense. And DJ Chark's going to catch a touchdown for over 35 yards.
Look at that.
Thick.
Just taking all the
thick
stats.
prediction. Just a thick prediction. It's a thick diction.
Okay. What do you got there, Kyle?
All right, I'm going to go 28-17 Bolts, and Ladd McConkey return punt. I think he's going to add to the legend of Ladd McConkey with the punt return.
Ooh. The legend of Ladd. That's sick.
So you don't think Darius Davis is coming back?
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, seeing if it hits.
I like it. All right. Listen.
Dude, the legend of Ladd. You can't keep it down. It's going to live.
I'm going to say the Chargers are going to win 31-10.
Ooh.
I think with all of our weapons coming back, this is our opportunity to really solidify what this team is and continue to keep a team under 20 points. And I'm going to say that with the return of QJ, he's getting 2 touchdowns.
Whoa,
Ooh,
big game.
Two for Q.
Double tutties.
That's right. So there you go, folks. Bold predictions in the books. That's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Any final thoughts there, gentlemen?
I'm just glad we're at home. We get to watch a game together at our house, and
yes.
I'm excited. I'm just
ready.
I love noon football. Is so much better for me than 3:00 football. I like the early game. Not Kyle.
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock football sucks because I'm working during the first half of the football game. So yeah, it's not cool.
Sorry about that, but it's great for me.
Good.
As long as it's good for Kevin, that's all that matters. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.